Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live English lesson with me, teacher Zdenek, and one of the Achievers Chamber members. This time is Denis. He's going to be my student today. Hi, Denis. How are you?
Hi, Zdenek. Fine, a little bit tired to be honest, but I hope that it's not going to ruin the show.
I'm sure it's not. Yeah,
Yeah.
how
How
could
you-
it ruin the show when it's you, man?
Oh, thank you.
Just to remind everyone, Denis is from Bosnia.
Yeah, Bosnia and Herzegovina, to be exact. That's the full
Mhm.
name of our countries.
Yeah.
Of our country, it's two different parts. One is Bosnia, other is Herzegovina, but usually we say Bosnia. You're right.
Okay.
But to be respectful for everybody, let's say Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Okay. Fantastic. And obviously, as always, we have got some people watching us. So those are the what we call the viewers. And thank you for being here, everyone. Obviously, as always, feel free to take part in this lesson. We want to make it interactive. Obviously, the lesson is with Denis, but as well as that, we've got the chat on the side where you guys can post questions or your answers or anything whenever you feel like getting involved. Please do it. It helps the YouTube channel and it also helps you because this is your opportunity to practice to use the English language, which is, I guess, why you are here. So, Denis, what's the topic you chose for today's live?
Yeah, I suggested you to talk about traveling, traveling abroad, experience from our journeys. I also expect you to share some of yours. I know that you travel also, probably a
Right.
lot.
That's right. So yeah, especially this year, man. It's been
Mhm,
many times. I've never flown as many times as I have
mhm.
this year. It's my record number of flights this year, and there is more to come in December, which is still
Fantastic.
which still counts as this year, I believe.
Mhm. I believe you enjoy traveling.
Well, I'm not sure if I'm into traveling that much. I think for me, it's more like it's like call. It's like a call of nature or something. For it's hard to
Mhm,
explain. It's like something I have to do
mhm.
in order to move forward, in order to progress, in order to grow as Zdenek and yeah, makes no sense. I know, but
But still, I suppose you have some benefits from traveling. I think
absolutely
the usual ones. You see other cultures, you try new food, you drink new beer.
might be the
If there
most
is,
important one.
yeah, if there is better than Czech one, I'm not sure.
Don't know what to say because I'm not that patriotic. Yeah, so as a
Uh,
patriot, I should say, of course not. But as Zdenek, I'm gonna say sometimes. Like Guinness was really good.
yeah,
Guinness in Ireland was amazing. So honestly, I don't care that much. Like it's nice to get to know different beer, of course, but yeah, whichever one is better doesn't
yeah.
make much
It's
doesn't
not
make
so
much difference to
important.
me, and yeah, doesn't bother me that much.
Mhm.
Okay, Dennis. So I have decided to call this lesson "Why Travel Abroad." See, I'm trying to get into the world of clickbaits a little bit, and not sure how clickbaity this is, but "Why Travel Abroad" sounds better than just traveling. Okay, so I've got a set of questions here for you, Dennis, as always. And
Mhm.
thanks, guys, for writing all those comments. So this one is from Helen, who says hi. This one is from Irena, who doesn't say anything, but there's just an emoji. Oh, here we go. All right, Dennis, this is my first question for you. How often there are two ways we can pronounce this word. How often or often you take your pick. How often do you travel abroad?
Well, whenever I can. I really enjoy traveling. Uh, but to be honest, recently it's mostly travel on business purposes.
Yep.
So I don't have so much time to do some sightseeing. But
Hmm.
I still enjoy it. I still enjoy it. So it is usually a few times a year, I would say. Yeah, there was a break during the time of the pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic.
Pandemic, yeah.
But besides that, it's usually a few times a year.
Hmm. Okay, then. How about you guys? Let us know in the comments. For me, there were years I didn't travel at all. I didn't leave the country. But as I said, this year I have already been to 3 different foreign countries, and I flew
Mhm.
each time. On the one hand, you might say that's not good for the environment, is it? Because I'm
I visited
increasing
four.
my carbon footprint, so it's not the best, but I have always enjoyed it really a lot. You've been away 4 times.
Yes,
Ah, okay. 4 different countries.
yes,
Would you like to tell us which ones? And then I'll
yes.
tell
Of
you
course.
mine.
One a few weeks ago, I visited Turkey, Istanbul.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Before that, Germany. It was a big uh, glass affair, Glastic.
Yeah.
Before Glastic, I visited. Well, Glastic is in Germany. I visited Austria, Bregenz, and yeah, it's three. And in February, I traveled to Indonesia,
Hmm.
Jakarta.
Yeah.
Then
Nice one.
all for travels, all for how to say
Experiences, you
travel
could say.
experiences. Yeah, were connected with were related to business.
Yeah. So they were business trips.
Yeah, business trips. You're right.
Okay. Very well then. What about our viewers? Where have you been, guys? All right. Now, this is my next question for you, Dennis. What reasons for traveling abroad are there? And this is pretty much our opportunity to answer the question from the title of this video. So let's go.
Mm.
How many can we come up with?
Oh, I think a lot of them.
Yeah.
I think most of them are positive.
Hmm.
Although I think that some people can encounter some difficulties while traveling, lost baggage. I don't know, maybe some problems, canceled flights, and so on. But most of them are really joyful, like opportunity to meet new cultures, to see the world from the other perspective, to become a better person. I would say to become more humble, to see that some things that we usually consider like granted are not available to a lot of people around the world, and it's actually it's a good opportunity to grow and yeah,
Yep.
to love your country more. I think it's good to leave your country, but it's always better to return.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I would add that is a good phrase to broaden your horizons.
Yes,
I don't
yes,
know if you know that
definitely.
phrase. That's a good
Mhm.
one. And to be you mentioned to be humble, to get to know different, to become more humble, maybe to get to know different cultures. I would also add the adjective to become more open minded.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
because more open
Maybe
minded and tolerant. Yeah.
to become more well-rounded person.
Yeah. Become more aware of
Mhm.
the other parts
I
of the
think, yeah,
world,
yeah,
because sometimes we live in our own bubble, right? Surrounded by similar people to us,
yeah.
and then this gives us a new perspective, doesn't it?
I think there is a saying, something like that: the world is like a book, and
Mhm.
it's better to read as many pages as possible to get the right picture of the world. If
Yeah,
you only stay on one page, it's definitely not enough to see the world in the right way.
yeah.
To
Up,
have at least some sort of perspective, which is
mm,
not full, which is not full. Uh, I would say, how to say, never. It's never full. You
yeah.
cannot say. At least if you go to space and experience that feeling also.
Yeah,
But
it's
there is
impossible to.
always something more. There is always
Yeah, it's
something
always
more.
something you miss and something
Yes,
you
you're
don't
right.
experience, right? There's
Yes,
more to it than just that. It's not the full picture, yeah.
true.
And then you also said that it's always nice to be back home, and there's even a phrase, east west, home is the best. Yeah, that's a
Mhm.
nice phrase you can use as well, listeners and viewers. Okay, which foreign country have you been to? Um, have you been to the most?
The most.
Hmm.
Uh, Countries around my homeland. It's Croatia, probably, is the nearest one. We have
Okay.
borders with Croatia, and Croatia
Yeah.
has nice seaside. So I think that
Mhm.
at least once a year I
Okay.
visit Croatia with my family.
Yeah. So is your language Bosnian? Is it similar to Croatian language or not?
It was almost the same. There are some
Oh, okay.
words, dialects. It's a little bit different, but we understand each
You
other without
understand
any
more or
problem.
less everything. So you
Yeah,
do you do
Serbia,
you
Croatia.
so all these languages involve, is it the same
Yeah.
in
You wouldn't
everywhere?
understand, yeah, Slovenian
Okay.
and Macedonian,
So we're
but
talking about
Montenegro.
The
Yeah, we
Balkan,
talk about Balkan. Yeah,
Balkan
Montenegro,
people.
Serbia, Croatia, and Bosnia and Herzegovina, almost
Similar
the same
languages.
language, similar, quite similar.
Okay. All right. Good to know. And my next question for you is, what country do you dream of visiting one day?
Oh, I haven't been thought about that, but I would like to visit. I don't know, United States of America, definitely. England, although I visited Ireland, but would like to visit England too, especially London, because yeah, as I'm a passionate English learner, I would say that it would also be like something like a must for me
Yeah.
to visit England and to to see some, I don't know, well-known places.
To hear the language used
Yes, to
in
hear the
practical
language.
situations, and
Yes.
have the opportunity to meet people.
I would say to see the best version of English language, because so far I've heard a lot of different accents.
Is this the best version though? Like, is that just? I don't like when people say that. I don't think that's. I don't think there is the best version of the English language. I think this is just a myth. This is just a
But
myth or a fairy tale that we
you're
all
right. But the
have.
most I would say the most understandable or the cleanest, the easiest for my ear to pick up. Maybe that's the right definition, because when I visited Ireland, it wasn't easy to understand those people.
It was easy for me. I was there as well this summer.
Yeah.
uh,
Okay. Maybe
I think
my
it's just.
English wasn't at the best level at that time.
Yeah, to be honest, Dennis, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna be with Irena here. I don't think the best version exists, and I don't think it's right to say it even like that. But I also kind of understand where you're coming from, because
Huh?
I bet you used to use course books with the British English recordings and British English accents and the RP. Sir, you have always been surrounded by the RP accent. I think we have already moved on from that. I believe as a teacher and as Denek,
Mhm.
we have moved on from that, and
Definitely.
we are living
I'm
in a
not
different
talking.
world now.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that your version is, for example, or any other teacher is less valuable than the natives. On contrary, I I I respect only the way how some some teachers like, present the material, present the topics. So it doesn't have actually it's not connected with my point. I just
Yeah.
talked about the country which is somehow the origin of English language, let's say like that.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. And
Yeah,
I know you
maybe
respect.
the
I know you
homeland, the
respect
homeland of Shakespeare.
the homeland of Shakespeare. You see, this is you are on thin ice, Dennis. You are on a very dangerous territory. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Because you first of all you said England, not
Uh,
the United Kingdom for some reason. So, for example,
uh,
Irena is pointing out, I love Scottish English. Yeah. Then
yeah.
what will Americans say? I guess you have mentioned the USA already, right? But
Mm,
for example, someone from South Africa or India, these accents are equally valid and valuable. But sometimes people still subscribe to this romantic idea that
mm.
certain Englishes are superior to others, and I'm gonna fight tooth and nail to 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 prove people wrong because
Okay.
it shouldn't be like this. But
Okay.
but I also understand your point of view, and I know where you're coming from because I used to be in your shoes, so to speak. So I, you know, I have
Yes, you
to admit that.
understand.
I have to
If
admit that.
yeah,
Yeah,
if you use our, for example, English textbooks, you can definitely say the pictures on it. It's always connected with England.
with the Queen and
Yeah, with the Queen, with the Big Ben, with the Buckingham Palace.
I get it. I'm just saying, people, you're there is more to it than just that.
Mm,
Believe me. And I want to thank you, Dennis, for being open-minded enough to
okay.
trust me, to listen to my podcast, to listen to Zdenek's English podcast, and for becoming the Achievers Chamber member as well. You
Thank
have
you.
been there for how long have you been in the group?
Since the beginning, I think.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
You're one of the founding fathers. Okay then.
Yes. You remember I was in Jakarta when you sent me the message
Yeah.
about describing your project, and I
So you
told
were
you
not
then.
so you joined like one
Yeah, maybe
month
1 month later.
one
Yeah,
month
I told
later.
you I
Okay.
will
Yeah.
join when I get at home. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, you can still be considered one of the founding fathers, perhaps
Mhm.
the new generation. I'm just kidding. Um, I'm mentioning the Achievers Chamber because this is a
Mhm.
place, ladies and gentlemen, which is still there's still some spots available if you want to join. It's not a closed group. It's a private group. It's only for those that are invited and for those well, you have to prove that you have that level that we need you to be to join. Yeah, I'm saying you guys need to be at least B2 level. And if you're not sure about your level, just get in touch with me and we can have a quick chat. I can assess your level quickly. And yeah, we would love to have you there, especially those of you who can join the events and lessons that we do there. And they are done in the evening of Central European time. So I know it's not very convenient for people from other parts of the world, but if you are willing to wake up in the middle of the night or can do it in the morning, then you can always join, of course.
Do you want me to say a few words about the
Of
group?
course, of course. Go ahead. It's
Yeah,
not planned. It's not planned. There is no script, by the way, ladies and
uh,
gentlemen. So,
I,
Dennis,
I
go
like
ahead.
I like the way how we talk to each other.
Yeah.
It is always like a friend's talk. I would say. How I see it, like a classroom without walls, a great place for people who like to practice English, and it's really crucial
Yeah,
for every English learners. The more you practice, the better you are going to sound, the more fluent you will become. So practice is the key, I would say,
practice is
and
the key.
especially if
Yeah,
it's some kind of a structure where there is a teacher like Zdenek who
yeah.
always prepare interesting material, and it is not just practice. We always learn something new. So
Well,
thank you, group,
thanks for saying that.
and I will keep participating as
Great.
much as I can.
Fantastic. And one of the benefits you can get is if you have the silver membership and
Mhm.
higher, is that you can be one of the faces of these YouTube lives. Now, I know this is not for everyone,
No, but
and
this
I
is
respect.
also a good thing because
Yeah,
talking like this and knowing that this video is going to stay on YouTube is not an easy thing. You must get out from your comfort zones, and
totally.
it's also very important for people who speak English like a second language.
Yeah. To be honest, I am in that position as well. I'm a teacher.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm qualified to do this, but it's a confidence thing for me too, right? The first time I did
Mhm.
this, I must have been terrified. I can't remember it anymore. That's how difficult it must have been for me. But I did it, and each time I did it again, it got easier. And
Mhm.
it's gonna be exactly the same for the students, for you guys, and you will feel more confident about your English. It's super important to do things like that, to challenge yourself, right? So I know there are people in the achievers chamber who just says the next sorry, but i will do I will
Not
join
for
your event, the private event. That's fine. They turn on the camera, we see them, we talk to them, but they know this is not going public, right? It's just in the group. But they refuse to come on air here, which is, for me, it's fine because I get it. Yeah, I get it. Some of them are more introverted, let's say, or just they're just terrified of this idea of you are vulnerable, aren't you? Like you're exposing yourself. You're
yeah,
putting
you're right.
yourself in a vulnerable position. So am I, right? I could make a mistake. I do make mistakes here, by the way, and then I
One
can't
of the
take it back.
greatest. Yeah, sorry for
Yeah,
interrupting. Yeah, one of the greatest fear is talk in front of a lot of people.
yeah,
Talking.
you're right.
So I understand people
But
completely.
this is easier than it seems, because you're sitting in your own home, right?
Mhm.
You're on a sofa. I bet you are, Dennis.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, what's different? You just have earphones in your ears and turn on your camera, and it doesn't feel like you're standing in front of a group of people. It's different. Yeah.
it's it's easy to say.
No, no, yeah, you are right. Yeah. Anyway, that's a bit of a tangent, but let's move
Yeah.
on to our original topic. So, do
Mhm.
you ever get anxious right before traveling abroad, Dennis?
Yeah. Probably at the very beginning of my traveling experiences, I would say the first time, yeah, it wasn't easy. A few weeks ago, when I flew to Turkey,
Turkey,
uh,
Turkey.
no, it's not Turkey anymore. People from Turkey are going to get
Really?
that you know it's not Turkey, it's Turkey, I think.
But
You Google it and you will see.
what's the
Yeah.
English word? Is it Turkey?
No, I think that Turkey. You know also what Turkey means. It's like a
Oh,
chicken.
you're
Yeah,
right. You're right.
it's
I heard
Turkey.
about that.
Mhm.
I heard about that. They don't like the fact that it has
Yes,
the bird has the same name.
yes. And two of my
Yeah.
three of my colleagues, none of them hadn't flown before, and yeah, I could see that it wasn't easy for them. So I remember I probably felt and looked the same at the time I traveled the
Yeah.
first time.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think it's quite common. The more, again, the more you do it, the more comfortable you
Mhm.
get. We've got uh, some comments that I haven't put up on screen, so I'm gonna do it really quickly here. All right. You guys want to read these? Just stop the video, yeah? All right. And then my next question is, what's your preferred means of traveling abroad? Means of transport?
I like flying. I can't stand boats. I get sick the moment I get on the boat.
Really?
Really.
Okay.
Flying is fine. Also, traveling by car is
Yeah.
acceptable. I also hate travel with buses, traveling on a
Mm,
bus. It's not pleasant anymore if you, especially if you travel long distance,
yeah.
not easy.
Okay, very good. And the next question is, do you follow the when in Rome, do as the Romans do principle?
Always.
Always?
Sometimes even on my own, how to say, bad or doing wrong things. When I visited Indonesia, the guy at the at hotel asked me what kind of food do you like, and I
Mhm.
told him your Asian food. And my colleague looked at me. Are you sure? Yes, I'm completely sure. And I didn't how to say I wasn't sorry for that because it's the only opportunity. It was the only opportunity for me to try the domestic food, wasn't it? So I didn't want to miss the chance.
Yeah. So were you saying it out of respect for the country, or was it actually true that you enjoyed the food the most at the time?
Uh, I can't say that I enjoyed all the time, but I want to experience the food. I want to try. I
Okay.
want some memories
Yeah.
to bring from that country. Some, I don't know, stories to share with my friends.
Instagram
And even,
stories.
yeah, no, I don't share pictures
I'm
because I
joking.
enjoy. I don't want to miss. I want to lose time on taking pictures. I enjoy. I watch, experience
Yeah.
the, I don't know, sceneries, people, everything around me, air, temperature,
Yeah.
different, I don't know, nature, especially in Indonesia, it was completely different.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. So you definitely subscribe to this saying.
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%. You can see that
true.
you do. Okay, this question. Do you always have an itinerary when you travel abroad? So for
I,
those of you who don't know what an itinerary is, it's like a list of things that you do. It's like a planned, it's like the list of things you do as you plan your journey,
yes,
right?
I like to make a list, especially when I travel on business. I like to have planned for like a schedule
Yeah.
for all the activities that I have in mind. So
Yeah.
I'll try to stick to it, and somehow I feel that I control
Mm,
things, but it doesn't uh, it doesn't get like I planned. Sometimes it's a little bit different, but at least I have something like a to-do list or time schedule.
yeah. I mean, I understand, but I think I'm a little bit different from you.
Uh-huh.
Maybe I'm a little bit different from most people, actually. I sometimes I like to be spontaneous. It's just it's for me. It's you probably can see from the way I do some of my events or videos or the way I
Mm,
teach. Some people may see it from that. I just that's how I feel in control because if I plan everything, then sort of feel restricted, almost imprisoned. So
mm,
that is me, but I also but of course sometimes it's necessary, right, to
yeah,
be structured and organized and
true.
yeah,
It actually depends on the purpose of traveling. Sometimes you don't have other option.
yeah, that's
If
right.
if you
If
don't
it's a
plan,
business
then yeah.
if it's a business
If you
trip, yeah, yeah,
You're right. If you don't plan it, the other side is going to make plans for you. So it's better to do it in advance and somehow try to control the situation. I thought
absolutely.
that maybe you would ask me some I don't know strange questions like have you ever slept in an airport? What's the strangest thing that have happened to you?
Well, I'm asking you
Some
now
interesting
then.
stories.
I'm
Yeah.
asking you now then. Go on then.
Okay,
You see,
because
that's the advantage of doing videos like this in a spontaneous way.
uh,
I
yeah,
always make room for surprises, as Irena does. So
uh,
tell us.
yep. Yeah, I wanted to say that uh, in Dubai, the XB airport, I had a tremendous nap or sleeping. I actually spent a night on a bench, and it was beautiful.
A
I
nap.
can't remember that. Yeah, it
How,
was like sleeping. Yeah, I slept a night on a bench.
well, that's you said a nap. Yeah, but
A nap is a short sleep, right?
yeah, I think
No,
it
but
is. Yeah,
it was a few hours of sleeping.
yeah, that doesn't sound like a
Yeah,
nap to me.
yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Sorry. Yeah, it was.
Overstate. Yeah, it's like a joke. It's nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
you can say it like that.
it's because in Dubai, DXB airport, they have got some special types of benches, quite
Hmm.
long, so you can. It's like a almost like a bed, and you can really have a good sleep on them.
Hmm.
But there are a lot of stories from my journeys from Ireland. A
Yeah.
few very interesting.
Again, if you want, go ahead, share
Yeah,
them. We don't have
yeah,
we don't have so much time, so we won't be
yeah.
able to hear them all. But
Maybe there
tell us
was
as
one
much as you
interesting.
can.
Yeah, there was one. Yeah, on my way to Dublin, I experienced something very rare. I don't that many people can share the same experience. Looking from the window of the airplane, I saw the other airplane passing us,
Mhm.
and that was the moment when for sure, sense or feel the speed of these machines.
Okay.
It was really fantastic. It was like a how to say it, like an arrow, something very fast. But
Yeah.
I clearly saw the plane shiny because of the sun is always shining above the clouds. It
Yeah.
was fantastic. Yeah. And the other story is about my experience stopping a bus in Dublin. Do you know
Hmm.
how they do it? I
No,
suppose
tell
you
me.
know. You know. I guess you know. I bet you know. But I will share the story.
Tell me.
The first morning in Dublin, yeah, I wanted to take a bus and arrive to a bus station. I was on my own. Nobody was around me. I checked the timetable and saw that the buses would come soon. And after a few minutes, I saw a bus coming. I look at the driver looked at me, and he just passed me. Didn't stop. I was surprised. Oh my God, what is this? I
Yeah.
thought. And then I waited for another one, maybe 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, the other one arrived, and the same happened. It was quite strange. oh, nobody's going to stop me. Something is really wrong. I'm doing something. I looked for the button, no
I
button at the bus
I think I
station,
can
but
guess what was happening. Can I have a
yeah,
guess? Can I have
then
a guess?
a lady came
Yeah.
complaining about teenagers, and she immediately started a conversation with me, and I also approved her point of teenagers and everything, because on her way to the bus station she picked up some empty cans,
Mm,
and she was like a mad about teenagers.
yeah.
And at that moment the third bus came. The lady stepped forward, bring her arm and waved at the driver, and the driver
Uh,
stopped. So at that moment, I that was like a aha moment. That's the way how you stop the bus in Dublin.
yeah. I think you call it a request stop.
Yeah, that was
Um,
the first time I experienced that. I've never seen that before.
yeah.
Hadn't seen that before. To be grammatically precise.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the expression. I think it's a request stop. It's like a bus stop.
Hmm.
Um, where you need to give an indication to the driver that you want them to stop at that station
Yeah, it
by
was a
waving your hand or
uh,
whistling, or I don't know what you do.
it
But
was
yeah,
in 2010, so I really didn't know that.
yeah. I think it's called a request stop. Tell us, guys, if you think there's another expression, but that's what I would call it. And it seems like it exists in Wikipedia, but there might be another word for it actually. Hmm. Anyway, that's a nice one. You know what? I actually thought that you were going to tell me that you were on the wrong side of the road because, as we know,
No, I wasn't.
yeah,
I
no,
knew at that time that they drove on the left
yeah,
side. I
okay,
knew that.
okay, excellent. So, Dennis, now comes the part where we're gonna have a look at the English you used. Yeah, so it's the feedback, which I believe
Okay.
is
I'm looking
essential
forward
for.
to hearing that.
Fantastic. I love people having this sort of attitude because honestly, this can give you so much. This can give you so much, guys. Like you sometimes you need to be told what you can work on, what you can improve, where there's room for improvement, right? So here we go. As always, I'm going to share a document with you, everyone, and I'm gonna give Dennis a chance to correct himself as well, because that's how I work with my students.
Oh, I'm looking
Um,
on. I'm not sure that that's going to see
oh,
what is
okay, I can.
written, but I
Hang
suppose
on,
you
hang
could
on.
help me.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger.
Yeah,
Let's see
sorry
what.
for that.
No, don't worry about it. Is is it better now? I think you're
Yes.
using your phone, so that's why it's a bit
Great, great,
okay.
great, great.
So, um, remember how you said that you call your country Bosnia and Herzegovina, and then you
Mm-hmm.
added to be respectful for the other part. I think I think it's
Sounds
better.
nice. Yeah.
I think it's better to use something else instead of for. I think you can say to have respect for
To have
someone,
respect, definitely. Yeah. To have
but I
respect.
think if you use the word respectful, personally, I would use
Mm-hmm.
to be respectful to the other part.
You're right.
Yeah, I think if we go to scale, can everybody see me searching this in on scale now? Can everybody see it or not? If you go to scale.scaleengine.eu and you write respectful to respect, can you guys see this or not? I
I
think
can
you
see
can't.
it.
Oh, you can. Okay,
Yeah, I
so
can. I can.
respectful to has got 0.19 hits per million, which is quite a lot. And you can see all the examples how it's used. And respectful 4 only has 0.01. So while it looks like some people have used it, there are only 9 instances, which makes me think it's not really a natural use of the language. So for me, it's respectful 2. I would go for respectful 2. Okay? Okay. I suggest you to talk,
Hmm.
right? How about this one, Denis? How about the
I
second one?
suggested you explained this
Uh-huh.
at the last Chiva Chambers group lesson. I
Yeah.
suggested talking about traveling.
I suggest,
I
sorry.
suggested you talking about traveling.
Actually, just don't say you. Just say I suggest
I suggested.
talking.
Okay.
I suggested talking. You can
Okay.
say I
But if you
suggested. Yeah.
but if you want to
Yeah.
be,
To
let's
mention
say,
me, you have to say I
to mention,
suggested
okay.
to you. I
If
guess you
there
would
are
have.
more people and I want to say
Yeah.
who actually I suggested
You have to say to
doing
you.
something.
To you.
Mm-hmm. Two.
You cannot say I suggested you. That just doesn't work in
Okay.
English. You have to say
Okay.
I suggested to you and then plus ing, or you can say I suggested that you talk about traveling, or
Mm-hmm.
I suggested that you should talk about traveling.
Okay, it makes sense.
That should work as well. Uh, this is not the right word, I believe.
No, pandemia is our word.
I
During the
mean, it's yeah. I
pandemic,
think
right? English word is
yeah.
pandemic.
In English, they use the word pandemic instead of pandemia. I think it might be in other languages, or it might be. You see, some people are asking this on Google: Is pandemia a word? It's possible that some people use it, and it might be part of English as a lingua franca. But I
Mm-hmm.
think that the English word is pandemic with C at the end. Yeah, pandemic. Okay. How do you pronounce this word, Denis?
Austria,
Very good. How about this one?
baggage,
Baggage.
baggage,
Baggage. Ah,
ba. Okay.
baggage. Baggage. Okay. And then you said some problems, for example, canceled flies. I was like, what? What are we talking about here? Flies?
Flies, flies.
What's the noun from the word to fly, Dennis? What's the noun? Uh,
A fly?
a
No.
flight, actually. A
Flight.
flight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right.
A
Flight.
flight. Yeah.
Cancel
So
flights. Yes,
yeah,
yes. You're right.
because you can say flies, but that's like those annoying flying insects. Zzz,
Yes, yes,
zzz.
yes.
Those are flies, right? So now,
Yes, you're right.
yeah, but the one you want to use here is a flight. So you have to say canceled or delayed flight. You have infected me. Flights. I was about to say the same. All right. To see some things we consider granted. To see some things. No, that doesn't seem too wrong. But I think there must have been something else you used. Anyway, the phrase is to take for granted, right?
Yes.
To take something for granted. And I can't remember. I'm not sure you said it like this, Dennis. Because if you say we consider granted, that doesn't seem too wrong, in my opinion,
Mhm.
actually. But I believe you might have used a different verb here. I can't remember, man. But just to remind you and everyone, the phrase is to take something for granted. So to see things we take for granted, whatever. Now there was this phrase to broaden your horizons that I was teaching. What's the difference, Dennis, in pronunciation between these two words?
I live, right?
hmm
If I can say I live and leave.
Very good. Yeah. So be careful about those two.
Mhm.
Live and leave. There's the difference in the length of the
Mhm.
vowel sound. Okay. This is the phrase. This is like a saying. East, west, home is the best. And then there are a few more sentences to look at. So, how about this one? I respect all the way how teachers present the material. And then the next one, these two are related. I like the way how we talk to each other. So you use the same structure here. I'm going to underline it for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe there's a better way to say this, or there's a more natural way to put it.
Mm-hmm. Tell me.
Um, I think you have to avoid how.
Mm-hmm.
I think how is redundant here, and
Right.
it's not really used in such
Yes,
sentences.
you're right. I like
Yeah,
the way we talk to each other.
yeah. I think way how, as we use it in Slavic languages, I have seen it because I used to own a book called, I don't know exactly what the book was called, but it was like about the most common mistakes Slavic learners of Slavic languages make. Sorry, speakers of Slavic languages make. And one of those common mistakes was that people say way how, because that's how we construct the sentences in our clauses in our languages, right?
You're absolutely
So
right.
yeah, so just 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 lose this how and it will all be fine. Okay.
I will. I
It's
will.
okay, perfect. It's crucial for every English learners. What's wrong with that?
No, it's crucial for
There's a
every English
spelling
learner.
mistake here. Yeah. So every should be used with a singular noun, right? For every English learner, not learners.
Mm-hmm.
You could say how could you change this word every? How could you change this word every and keep this word learners? What would you replace it with to be able to keep this word learners?
I'm not sure.
You don't understand my question. So I want to keep the whole sentence
Okay.
as it is,
Mm-hmm.
and I can do that by changing this word every as well,
Mm-hmm.
replacing it with something else. What's the
Okay.
word
It's
I can?
crucial for each,
No,
not because each when we have a
yeah,
group of and
no.
one of them.
No. Each has to
No.
be used with singular noun as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you need something that is used with
Any
plural
English.
nouns.
No.
Any doesn't work here.
Mm-hmm. I probably know, but
You know this.
I'm under stress at the moment.
It's a very small word,
Uh-huh. Very small.
and it
It's a
rhymes.
crucial
It
for
rhymes with the word with this.
it's a crucial for an English learner. No?
If I want to, what do I do? What's the verb? What's the action that I do when I'm using my phone? I am. What am I doing? Hello.
You're rising, you're picking
I'm
up your
calling.
phone.
I'm calling my friend. Yeah.
Calling. Ah,
To
okay.
call, and the word that rhymes with the word call is all.
Oh,
Yeah, just all.
but then you have the plural learners,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I said. I
It's,
said, how can
ah,
you how can you keep it the same by changing
mm.
only one word, by the word every?
Okay. My
Yeah.
original version, I thought that
Yeah.
you keep the singular
No, no,
and change
no.
something. Okay, now
Uh,
now
no.
it's
Yeah,
understanding.
sorry. I went a bit meta
No,
there.
no, don't worry.
Three of my colleagues, none of them hadn't flown before, so it's a bit strange. So
Yeah, I wanted to use plusquamperfect. Like three of my colleagues flew with me, and none of them had
that's
flown
okay. No,
before,
that
right?
was actually that's something I appreciate
Hmm.
that you managed to use past perfect because it's never
Hmm.
easy. But
Hmm.
unfortunately, you made a mistake in something else there.
Hmm.
So the tense is not a problem, but
Hmm.
something else is.
Three of my
No,
colleagues.
that's fine. Keep that.
That's okay. That's my
Don't
colleagues,
worry about that.
and I would add here uh, flew with me, and none of them. No, traveled
No,
with me, and
you can keep past perfect, but the
okay.
problem here is you've got two negatives here, right? You've got hadn't
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're
and
right.
none. So
It's not
how can you
possible.
fix it? How can you fix it?
Uh, three of my colleagues, none of them flown before.
No, you can keep past perfect. I don't mind that, but just don't use two negatives.
Yeah, but I would use none of them had
Yeah,
ever flown before.
yeah. Okay, that's what that works. How do you
Hmm.
pronounce this word again, Denise?
Flown, fly
Flown,
through, flown,
flown,
fly through,
flown.
flown.
Mm-hmm.
Irregular verb.
Yep, yep.
Okay.
How do you pronounce this?
On my own. On my own.
Hmm, okay. Own. The word is own.
Own.
How do
Okay.
you link these two? How do you link these two words to make it
My
sound
and
sort of
own. My and own, right?
yeah? How would you link it to make it sound more to make it sound more smooth? On my
On my
own,
own.
but how do you make it sound smoother?
I don't know.
Yeah, this is like an advanced point if you guys want to
Uh-huh.
work on your connected speech. It's never easy, but it's kind of useful. So there is an extra sound, extra y sound, which you insert,
Hmm.
and then that will make it sound more fluent and more natural and native like. Yeah. So you say on my own, on my own,
On
on
my
my
own.
own, on my own.
Yeah. Without that, it wouldn't be possible to connect these
Yeah,
words.
you would be
So
saying
what is
on my own. I mean, it's
on
possible.
my
No,
own?
it is possible, Dennis. On my
Okay.
own, it is possible, but this will make it sound a little bit smoother. That's
There is
all.
a
That's all I'm
short, yeah,
saying.
there is still a short pause between my and own.
How do you pronounce this word again?
I can see it. Pass.
So
What?
I almost feel like I'm picking on you today. Pause,
Pose. Okay.
not
Pose.
pose. Pause,
Pose.
not pose,
Mm.
because pose is a different word. Yeah, pose. This is a pose.
Yes. I know.
So this is pause.
Pose. Okay.
No,
When
just
you
long or.
press
Just no. Don't go into you. You must not pronounce it oo or It's just o.
O.
Pause.
Pose.
Pause. Just open your mouth and keep it that way. Oh,
Uh-huh.
that's the
Oh.
vowel. That's the
Oh.
vowel. Oh,
Mm.
pause. Right?
Okay. It's combination of A and O. O. Pose.
No, no. It's just long o.
Mm-hmm.
There's no. It's just a short. It's just a long vowel o. Right? It's just
Okay.
this. Look. You see this? Pause.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Okay.
it's like saw.
Okay.
Saw. Okay. How
I
about
will
this
have to
word?
practice that.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We will work on that in the Achievers Chamber. By the way, we have a pronunciation lesson starting in 4 minutes, so I have to hurry up with this live
Okay.
in the Achievers Chamber because we started late
Uh-huh.
today. So you can join as well. So pause.
I'll try, but not sure because
Yeah,
my
don't
kids
worry.
are
No, no,
already
no stress,
waiting for me.
Dennis. I'm sure there will be some people there. If you're already tired, don't no stress.
Okay.
How about this word?
I can see it, to be honest,
You,
from
you
the
can't
from
see.
my
Okay, I'll make it bigger. Okay, there you go.
hotel.
Actually, it
Hotel.
should be hotel.
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 Okay.
The stress is on the first or second
Okay.
syllable.
Second.
Mm-hmm.
Hotel.
Hotel. Hotel.
Okay.
Yeah. How about this word?
Is it air?
Air.
Air? Air. Air.
In British English, it's just air.
Air.
Air. Air. Air. It's like the same
Air.
sound. Yeah. When you say chair or share or dare or care, it's exactly
Mm-hmm.
the same sound without that initial vowel. So
Okay.
instead of saying care, you just say air. Instead of saying chair, you just say air. It's,
Okay.
it's just air. Yeah.
Get it.
All right. And then you said this. How can you make it better?
Which one it doesn't
It
always get like
doesn't
I
always get
planned.
like I planned.
It doesn't always turn out how I
That
planned.
that sounds
What I
better.
planned or
Yeah.
what I
The
planned without how.
mm, no, the problem is the verb get here, I believe.
Mhm.
I think you can use go as well. It doesn't always go according
You're
to
right.
plan, or
Okay.
it doesn't always turn out would be good as well, as you said.
Mhm.
Turn out. Yeah. I think get doesn't work here, if
Okay.
I'm honest. Okay, there's one little thing which I believe is not such a big deal, Dennis, but let's work on this as well. How do you pronounce these final INGs in these words?
Come in.
Hmm?
Come in.
Say
What
them all.
else? I can see them.
You can't see
Passing,
them. Yeah.
passing, shining, coming.
Okay. So just without k or g, it's just
Okay.
passing, shining, coming. It's
Coming.
like this nasal sound.
Mhm. Okay.
Passing, coming, shining. It's just the air
Okay.
when you are pronouncing that sound, the air goes through your nasal cavity. Yeah, so it's like it makes this kind of
Mhm.
yeah,
Guys, these are
passing.
advanced things.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, you are an advanced student, Dennis. So if you were an elementary student, I would not. Most likely,
You
I
would
would not.
share this knowledge
I
with
would
me.
not. I would not pick. What do I want to say?
I understand
I,
and thank you very
I
much.
yeah, I would
I
not.
appreciate these details. Really.
No, it's important for advanced lens. We need to push ourselves, right? So these are like
True.
advanced points. This is what you would study at that level in terms of. Well, actually, this is quite a yeah. You might come across this earlier, actually, but
Mhm, mhm.
it's about working on your pronunciation. So
Right.
let's do this quickly. I clearly. How do you pronounce this word?
So,
Saw. Again, the same
so,
problem as before when we say
yeah, yeah, yeah.
pause, right? Not so, but saw. Because there is
Okay.
another word then is so, right? That
I know it's like it's a tool,
yeah,
right? I know.
that has a different pronunciation. Yeah, so we to be careful. All right, Dennis, I don't have time. I have to go, so I'm quickly gonna correct this myself. Yeah. So I arrived without two. Never use arrived with two, guys. You can say I
Okay.
arrived in or I arrived at. In this
Mhm.
case, I would say at. Yeah. Here, at seems more reasonable here because it's a bus stop. As well as that, I would say bus stop, especially if it was a request stop. Just bus stop, yeah, not station. Bus station exists, but it's like much bigger than a bus stop. Okay,
Bus stop. You're right. Bus station
yeah.
is
And here
bigger.
I looked. Here I want you to be careful about how you pronounce this final ed. I looked at. I looked at the
Look at.
driver. The driver looked at me. Looked at. Yeah, that should be the
Like a
pronunciation.
connected, right? This
Yeah.
was should okay. Looked at.
Okay. And this, I thought. I thought. I
Okay.
thought. This one, guys, a request stop. I'm not completely sure, but I think this is one way of saying it. But there might be another way. Just please, Google it. Let me know in the comments, and that's it. I really have to go now. Guys are waiting for me in the Achievers Chamber. So I'm just gonna quickly go through these comments. Okay, Irena says that we can also say to be respectful towards someone. Okay. Helen says that we couldn't see scale, so Dennis was lying to me. Nah, it's fine, Dennis. I'm just
Like I
kidding.
couldn't see. Didn't.
Maybe you could see it, but Helen couldn't. Um, all good, all good. Dennis, now is the time to say goodbye. Thank you very much for being the student today,
Thank you,
and
Zdenek.
hopefully we all learned something from this. And yeah, please, guys, I'm begging you, give me a like. I don't always beg on this channel. It's the first time I've done it, but it helps the channel. Eh? If you click the like button, it will take you 1 second, maybe less than that. So
I will give you one for sure.
yeah, some people
Thank you,
some
Zdenek.
people give me even two. If they have two different channels, they can even give me
Yeah,
two.
if I give you two, the first one is going to be cancelled. So
No, if you give it to me from like two different accounts, then you can give me.
okay, okay, okay.
It's
I
a
will tell
trick.
my kids. I will tell my kids to
All your
give you.
kids. even
Stanza.
those you don't know about. You and your wife doesn't know about, even those.
Uh, they
Anyway,
know.
bad joke to end this, but it happens. See
No,
you
no,
guys.
no. It's not. It's not. It's not a bad joke. But I didn't get it.
That's fine. That's fine.
We will talk
All right,
about.
guys. Take care, everyone. Yeah. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Where is the button? Here.
Yeah, I'm trying back.